guys, remember me? I'm feeling very kind of like out of practice in making like a quote-unquote YouTube video, but I didn't like stop posting to YouTube. I figured I'd hop on here. Well, I did stop posting to YouTube, but like not like I quit YouTube, if that makes sense. So I figured I'd try and start filming this for the millionth time to give you like a life update as like what's been going on in my life for the last couple of months and why I've been absent here, and then like what's the plan for this channel itself. Right now I'm at my office filming because it's like the only place I think I can get like quiet time, unless it's like at night when my children finally go to bed. So today I'm just gonna fill you in on what the heck's been going on. Like I said, I've tried to film this so many times and it's just never come all the way together and get fully filmed. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to stay focused. All right, so let's rewind to end of last summer to give you guys some context as to why I haven't been here very much. The main thing is at the end of summer, my father-in-law, so like Joel's dad, was diagnosed with cancer, like stage 3 throat cancer, and it was really intense. A lot of unknowns, a scary time for our family and obviously his family. It was just really hard. Luckily, you know, now that we've come this far, Joel's dad is doing really, really well. He had to undergo like major surgery, treatment, and everything like that, and he's on his way to recovery. And yeah, it's crazy to think of like my life at the end of like August last year and finding it out. And yeah, so that was like a really, really intense period of time, obviously, and something that his family is still like working through, and his dad's doing much better, which is absolutely incredible and not exactly how we thought it was going to be. So it is a true blessing. The other part, that while a lot less intense and scary and all that stuff, is so if you follow my newsletter, you kind of know a little bit about all of this that's been going on. I've been kind of focusing on my newsletter, and that sends out like every Friday, and it's just like a really nice way to kind of just like connect with all of you guys and just share without having to have too much of a, I don't know, like curated blog thing or a full YouTube video. I can just kind of like chat with you guys there, and it's much more personal. And so if you want to sign up for it, I'll leave like the link down below or whatever. But so if you are part of my newsletter, you know like a lot of the story. If you follow me on Instagram, you know kind of more about this. But Leo, my second born, he was born February of last year, so he's like a year and a half-ish or something like that. And he was a good sleeper until about that August time. So all these things kind of happened at the same time. He kind of has just been like chronically sick, and he just became a terrible sleeper. And by terrible sleeper, like newborn status sleeping, like waking up every hour, every 2 hours for months on end. And his sleep isn't like super improved, to be entirely honest, and he's like 17 months. He slept through the night one time. We have been working really closely with his doctors and a lot of that stuff, but it's just been a really, really, really hard couple of months to, I don't know, honestly, just like function as a regular human. I work a full-time job. YouTube is like not my full-time thing. While I really enjoy it, it just naturally, like my presence on social media and stuff just naturally dropped. It just like wasn't where my priority in life was. It was obviously like with my family and stuff. So yeah, Leo's sleep has been exhausting. Like multiple nights of just back-to-back weeks, months of him waking up like every hour for a while, and then it's improved like slightly. He's kind of like gone to every couple of hours, but he still wakes up like multiple times a night. He's also had like chronic ear infections, so, and he's been seen by his doctors and all that stuff. So I don't know. He's next week he actually goes in and he's getting tubes put in and his adenoids actually removed. We have been working with like an ENT and obviously his pediatrician, and we tried a lot of other things and it just didn't work. And they're very hopeful that he will have a lot of like an increased, how do you explain it? He should just live a better life after getting tubes in his ears and having his adenoids removed, we're hoping. He's had like 6 ear infections since August, so it's just been wild. Like it's just been, I don't know, like just survival mode, to be entirely honest. So yeah, that's kind of like the main reason. I want to like come back to this space, and now that I've been gone so long, it sort of like feels like I'm like new to YouTube and like don't know where what I'm doing. So I don't know. I also am trying to figure out like how to create content that I enjoy, that like I think you guys would enjoy, that like I want to create and make, but that's also like sustainable for my life. I think I've started over the last like couple of months kind of reframing from sharing a lot of my kids online, and that feels like the right thing for me and my family and something I want to continue doing. I know that like the motherhood stuff is stuff that everybody has really enjoyed, and I still want to share like bits of that, but it won't be like any sort of like vlogging or like sharing my family's personal things really. So I don't know. Not that like I need to justify that by any means. It's just a heads up, I guess. And then, yeah, like I want to continue sharing like simple living, getting kind of back into like my capsule wardrobes because I just enjoy doing them and sharing them, and it makes my life so much easier. Home stuff, of course, we're still definitely have a lot of projects at our house to do, but obviously I don't really have time because I don't sleep very much or the energy sometimes to do it. So I want to continue sharing that kind of stuff, but honestly like my house is a disaster 99% of the time. I am tired, so like I don't know, I feel like I'm setting the bar real low for you guys, for me, but you know, whatever. Yeah. So I know I had like a Q&A. I asked a bunch of questions on Instagram like a couple months ago, and I tried filming it and it was just a disaster. So I don't really remember them, but I think I'll run through like some of the most commonly asked questions I had. Like, are you going to do an updated house tour? And yes, I will. I am going to clean my house. I have somebody who cleans my house like once a month, which feels so bougie, but it is the best money I ever spend. It makes my life a million gazillion. I would give up so many things just to have someone clean my house once a month. So I gotta like time that with that, because otherwise it's just a disaster, to be honest. But whatever, I got 2 kids. Life's crazy. Not the end of the world. And then another question I got asked a lot was, am I still vegan? And the short answer to that is no, I'm not 100% vegan. And like, are my kids vegan? And they are not. I have moved towards more of like a vegetarian-based diet, and there's a lot to like maybe explain there, and I'm not going to be like one of those YouTubers who has like one of those clickbaity titles that's like, I'm not vegan anymore in video. But for the short answer is, all right, let me give you like one example of like where I had this moment where I was like, okay, I don't know if this is like the right thing for my life and family. We moved to our new house in 2020, so like the year the world shut down and stuff, and the kitchen wasn't like done, or like we had all of our floors being refinished, so we like couldn't use our kitchen a lot, and I had to get like takeout food a handful of times. And I ordered from a place that I thought had like vegan stuff, and I ordered like what I thought was a vegan mac and cheese for my daughter. And we like were sitting outside our house, and I opened it up and I realized that like it was not vegan, it was just a vegetarian mac and cheese. And I had this like almost like panic of like, I don't know, like I can't feed this to her, it's like not vegan, and I don't know, it felt a little unhealthy, like mentally for me. And I just had to have like a big reality check that maybe this isn't as sustainable as I want it to be. I am the only person, my sister used to be like mostly vegan, and she still eats like pretty plant-based or whatever, but she's not vegan anymore at all. And so I'm like the only one, and it's just like not super sustainable. I'm not in like a big vegan community. Now that we moved outside the cities, getting vegan food is much more of a task. I still cook like pretty much vegan at home, like almost all vegan stuff at home and plant-based. But yeah, I just kind of had this moment where I really had to like reflect as to like, how do I put this? I don't want to pass on to my children any sort of like restrictive eating disorder type of situations. I have had people close to me in my life who have experienced eating disorders, and that's a lifelong battle and journey. And I'm not saying that veganism in any form is like a eating disorder, or I know it's helped a lot of people with eating disorders, but it is a very restrictive form of eating, and that can come with just a lot to navigate. And a vegetarian diet is a much more like socially accepted, much more attainable to do in, you know, like family settings, outings, vacations, things like that. So it just, without going like too crazy in depth and having some long-tailed video that way, it just was the right decision to kind of pull back from having a really like perfected plant-based diet where it's truly like 100%, and adding the ability to be more flexible in situations. Like I said, I still like buy all the vegan stuff and eat like pretty much all vegan at home. Like sometimes we'll have cheese sticks or something for my daughter, whatnot. And when we're on vacation, like I will eat a vegetarian dish, like of some sort, and I am just like way more flexible that way. And it's proved to be better for me mentally, better for my family, and I am feeling like I have a, how do I put this? Because I don't want to offend anyone, because if veganism works for you and having a fully vegan lifestyle works for you and your family, like that's awesome. Like I truly think that that is amazing. But I just found that it wasn't as sustainable as I thought it would be with kids, and vegetarianism is just far more easy for me to handle. I don't know. So that is the answer to that one. Other questions are like what house projects we have coming up. And I have a gazillion house projects, but just saving money for them. There's like rooms in my house I haven't even touched, to be honest. Like our whole basement, there's like parts of it that's just kind of like a slight disaster. Like our guest bedroom meets my craft room could really use some like TLC. I really want to kind of like wrap up a lot of projects that I started, because I'm really good at starting projects, not so great at finishing them sometimes lately, which is totally understandable of where my life's been at. But yeah, like finishing up like Leo's bedroom, like hanging things on the wall, finishing up our playroom kind of update. I did like, it looks totally different than the last video that I shared, and I love it, absolutely love it. Don't know why this camera does this weird focusing thing. I might have to really invest in a different camera. I know that freaks out you people on the internets, and it does me when I'm editing these too, so don't worry. I did like a mini makeover in our kitchen, which I'm gonna share because we aren't at the point of budget-wise like replacing the things that I want to do in there. We did get new appliances because our fridge crapped out on us, and we lucked out and got them like pretty quickly. I don't know how that happened, because since everybody's waiting months for them. And we have the cafe appliances, and I will say they live up to the hype. We redid our deck. That video is gonna come sooner than later. That we started last summer, refinishing our deck, and this is the summer we get to decorate it and enjoy it. Some just like cosmetic changes to our kitchen, or sorry, our living room. Like a good example of how my life is I bought curtains and curtain rods months ago, And I finally hung one set up on one side of our living room like a month ago, and I have to do the other one on the other side. This is the speed at which things happen in my life right now. So, you know, just like hang in there. This is not going to be one of those like extreme room makeover channels. As much as I love that stuff, it's just like not feasible in my life right now. So it's gonna be really, really, really slow, but intentional. Room updates. I am like really addicted to Facebook Marketplace right now, so that also comes with like just time and finding and sourcing these things and adding them to your home. And then everybody asks for links, and I'm like, I found on Facebook Marketplace, so I'm also sorry about that. But I love it. I love it so much. And that were kind of like the main questions people had for the most part. Oh, another one was like, how is transitioning from like 1 to 2 kids? I'd say it was like good, fine. I was really preparing Harriet for the transition. Turned out I needed to do a lot more preparing for it. She did like stellar, and still just like a great big sister, and like hasn't had too many things lately. I think she's kind of felt a little bit more like you spend so much time with Leo because he's kind of now at that like toddler stage where they just like need a lot of like parenting involvement in their life, and Harriet's a lot more hands-off and can play independently. So sometimes there's that, but back to when Leo was first born, I didn't prepare myself maybe as mentally as I should have for when like Harriet would be upset that I couldn't be part of whatever she was doing, or that like mom was needed by the baby, and that like broke my mama heart a lot. So I don't know, if you are going from 1 to 2, like yes, prepare your child for the addition of a new sibling, but also like really prepare yourself for and have grace for yourself that you may not be able to show up in your other child's life like you were before the baby. And I don't know, it's okay to cry about it because I did. So yeah, I don't know, kind of that. Oh, and then one other question I get often is, where do I work? What do I do full time? And it kind of like evolved and changed this year. But so I have worked since I graduated college for my family company. It's a company that my grandfather like started back in the late 60s, and then it kind of evolved, and then my dad kind of took a portion of it and kind of reinvented it for the internet in like 99 or something. And then I came along and worked here for a long time, and then at the beginning of the year, Joel and I actually set up like a purchase agreement with my dad, and Joel and I now own this business, and the company is waterproof.com. We sell basement waterproofing supplies to contractors, homeowners, all across the US. We manufacture all of our products, with the exception of like some of the name brand stuff like pumps and basins and stuff that we don't manufacture in-house. But yeah, so I have like a real deep like knowledge set of basements and crawl spaces and sump pumps and that kind of stuff. So that is what I do like during the week. Like that is my full-time job. Now that like we own the business, I think I'm trying to find a way to kind of integrate, you know, like my life doesn't have to be like 9 to 5, that I am in the office, and I can be more flexible with my time and figure out how to make this like integrated in. And yeah, so I'm just like navigating that, and it's been like exciting to now own the business and do, I don't know, whatever I want to do with it, I guess. And my dad's been like hands off for like a good couple of years. So Joel and I've been working together for a couple of years now, and have been kind of like, we've been steering the ship. But you know, when they truly aren't involved in it, it's like, whoa, this really is, you know, our business, and we get to direct the whole thing. Speaking of, hold on a second. So yeah, I'll wrap this up in 1 second. Let me actually do business. So yeah, that is what I do for work during the day. And then the other question I get asked a lot is like, is the podcast coming back? And I desperately want it to, because I enjoy making the podcast so very much. So yeah, like I said, my life's just been kind of like crazy, and it's just been family and work here. And I haven't really been able to like get a lot of time to do things outside of that. And it's been kind of hard for me mentally. I mean, it's been really hard, let's be real. This has been like a real shit couple of months and like almost last year. And especially coming off of like 2020 and stuff. So finding time to do these things, because I genuinely enjoy like creating. I like, you know, sharing a lot of this stuff. I love connecting with you guys on things, and I love creating the podcast mostly because I just get to sit and hang out with my sister and chat with her. She's now pregnant with her second baby, and she's like halfway there. So in like 4 months, she's gonna have a kid, which is another kid. So it's just a little crazy, but I mean, genuinely, we're trying to figure out how we can do it. It might be something that we do like seasonally and do like 12 episodes, take a break, 12 episodes, take a break type of thing. I don't know. We're not entirely sure how we can make it sustainable. But I just really enjoy doing the podcast and just literally hanging out and chatting with my sister. And so many of you guys ask about it, which like blows me away. So yes, we are trying to figure that out. I don't know, I feel like I kind of have to like scale back and where I'm sharing and what I'm doing, because there's TikTok, Instagram, there's my newsletter, which I enjoy doing, there's a blog, there's a YouTube channel, there's a podcast, I work full time and I have 2 children and one doesn't sleep. So, you know, that's just where we're at right now. If I could make like 7 more of me, I would, and I could just get so much more done and it'd be great. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was like all the questions. I keep saying that, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now because it's just gonna be a really long video. So thank you guys so much for sticking in here. If you're all the way at the end of this video, that's amazing. Just for being part of my channel and journey over the last like couple of years. I genuinely just appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to figuring out how this channel moves forward, and I don't know, just the next phase of life here. And I feel like I'm kind of coming to maybe the end of this like really intense chapter of my life, or I can like see the last few pages type of thing. So yeah, I don't know, I don't exactly know what I'm saying, but I want to like be here, be in this space and share with you because I just genuinely enjoy it. So, you know, that's what life's all about, right? I do things until I don't like them. Yes. This has been a great video. So yeah, I'm sorry it's so blurry. I need to look up cameras like immediately after I get off this chat thing. Anyways, I'm just, you know, sleep deprived. We gonna see you next time. Yeah, newsletter if you want to sign up below. I have one of those TikToks, that's a thing now, and I sometimes share on Instagram still because I am a millennial and TikTok kind of freaks me out. But yeah, so that's it. See you guys in a bit. Bye.